All right, our next caller is 818. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, Andrew. This is Dan from L.A.
Hey, Dan from L.A. How you doing today?
Good, good. I was wondering about the iPage coming out from the former OPPT through Project 13. What do you know about that?
Say that again. Your voice is a little soft. Talk right into your phone.
Okay. The iPage from the former OPPT, it's going to be coming through Project 13. They're saying it's like
I don't pay attention to other people's work like that. They have their own purpose. Did you have questions for a psychic reading? I don't pay attention to their work. In fact,
okay.
I rarely pay attention to anyone else's work. And there are multiple number of reasons for that. You know, everyone has a soul family. Everyone has a soul family, and my purpose here is to bring this layer of information about free will. The OPP is about free will, which that makes them a very good organization. But like any organization in the United States, you have to deal with the fact that everybody has negative incarnation patterns, and that naturally is the habitat that's created as part of the support unit. And for the support unit to be unified, there needs to be leadership that keeps people in line on the lower level. And this is not about the OPP itself. They're a great group of people, and they do the Collective Imagination show. And a great group of guys. The people that manage their comment pages, the people that are commenters, they need to understand that you need to take emotion out of commenting. That's what I'm referring to. And that's ultimately what any organization here in this world is going to be suffering from now. And that's why reasserting your free will and understanding, removing as much of the emotional coloring as you can, we can get people together to break into the world. It would be outstanding if the OPP and some other people could join together and make multiple unity forces, you know, of OPP and some of the Native and Indian movements throughout Canada, you know, they came forward.
Yeah. Well, do you know that if I'm with someone special right now?
Well, what I need you to do is tell me about your first 10 minutes of the day and be as specific as possible when you first woke up, and I can tune into your records. I need you to do that about 45, 50 seconds out loud.
Okay. I got up. I went to the bathroom. I came back to bed, and I started looking up articles. I did dream last night. I kind of remembered a little bit. I went into like this old shabby like FedEx kind of thing. I've
tuned into your energies, and this is gonna come with a little bit of shock to you. But right now you have a trickster spirit in your life, and this trickster spirit you invited into your life exactly 2 years ago. What were you doing 2 years ago? This time 2 years ago, end of May 2 years ago.
Let's see, because I'm in LA for acting, and I was waiting tables. But I've actually got away from that. I quit the job. I stopped going out on auditions, and I've been kind of just going into myself. And
were you partying?
What's that?
Were you partying?
I was partying a lot, and I've cut that down tremendously.
That's where the trickster spirits come. And for you right now, the trickster spirit is addicting you to article information. And what it is you need to do is you need to be out in the sun and out in nature and understand that there's a different layer of spiritual communication that's coming to you through the cycle and movement of what's going on in your astrological chart. And as I'm looking at you, you're being lined up like a similar caller to change your spiritual armor. And they're trying to lock a pattern right now. And the reason you were partying so much was to totally limit your energy when you literally came into the change phase. Just like a soft-shelled crab, you are just about to expel your own armor. You're in a different position. The armor that you have on now is going to fall off, literally. And then you're going to have a very soft, energetic layer, and that's going to build over a period of about 45, 50 days. And it's going to be vitally important for you that you go through the re-energizing phase. You get out in nature. You get out in water. You get out and communicate with the earth. You talk to the fire. And above all else, you find things that truly nourish your stomach. your stomach is way out of line. You don't have the proper microorganisms in them. There's a severe layer of toxic black mucus on your lower colon. You know, you've been finding it difficult to go to the bathroom?
No, not at all.
Not at all. I mean, I'm really sensing this hardcore. It's as if when you were...
I've been, like, regular. Like, I'd wake up every day and usually around 11:30.
You can be regular, but you're anything that's got processed food in it, you're just breaking down easy stuff. That's all that's coming out. You're in a situation you need to purge your colon, and you're only gonna, once you purge it, you're gonna rapidly recognize how much energy is being taken from your intestines to try to over process the food that's in your gut. What I'm also sensing is when you were waiting tables, there was a tremendous amount of psychic information coming from those people because you were in a very introspective mode. Were you deep in your head, you know, when you make sure you were focused dealing with those people, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That means you were in their energy
sometimes
field.
know what they already won before they even ask.
That means you were in their energy field, absorbing their junk.
Okay.
And anything that is, like, this is classic for people that are servers. They have a psychic side of them they don't know and only represents when they're at work and they find themselves predicting what people want. That means you are in the energy field of that person and you are taking their junk. And when you are in that situation where you're around food all the time, you begin to store that junk information in your intestines, simply because you have nowhere else left to store it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you would be doing is a fast or a purging, a colonic, a home enema, so that you can clear out your lower colon to begin to understand that you're holding on to a tremendous amount of negative psychic information from other people that you took, and now are impressing it into food as a storage unit, and it's stuck in your intestines, unable to digest. And when your dreaming body goes to wake up, it literally has to go through the intestinal wall because that's where your dreaming body is stored, in between your sacral chakra and your root chakra. What happens when your dreaming body opens up, there's a little like golden egg that goes from your belly button to below to around in your pubic area, and these little tentacles come out. And those tentacles have to filter through all that negative psychic data that's stuck in your mucus layer of the colon. That's what literally limits your dream world. And that is another classic example of the system creating spiritual contract that limit you from being the psychic that you are. You went into that job at that time because they knew that you were awakening and they needed to make sure you were stuck in a non-resolution phase.
Okay. But now that I'm all, like, separated from everything, because, like, I've been kind of, you know, just meditating and just being very spiritual.
It's good to be a self. It's good to be a self cheerleader, but you need to act now. You like quite literally need to act. You need to understand that you need to start having drumming or rattling or dancing or something that causes physical action.
Okay, I do have some crystal bowls that I play with my soulmate. Am I with my soulmate right now?
Well, I'll get into that in a second. You need to be out in nature. You can't be stuck inside your house anymore.
Okay.
All right, you're at this point where literally the energies in your home are what's going to limit you from healing. And when you go out and get new energies, you can do the healing on your home so you can heal more at home. All of that negative energy you took, mate had to be able to take some of that energy too, because that's what people in love do. They balance that energy out. But you also have your son, you have to take that energy back from him so he can fully heal. You got what I'm saying? It's real purification, purging process for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah. Am I with my soulmate right now?
Well, what do you think a soulmate is?
Well, it's somebody that you're supposed to be with. Like, because like somebody, like, I've heard from a couple of sources that she's my twin flame.
Okay. Well, only you know. If you rely on the information from others all the time, you'll never know. And I'm going to tell you this right now. She is soul family. there's a very big difference between what soul family and soulmate is. Soulmate is someone that you're supposed to have a psychic offspring child where you are both in psychic good health so that child could come out psychic. That's what soulmates are meant for. If you are meant to soulmate this lifetime, you'll begin a healing process and open up to your spirituality so you're a healed healer, and then you'll find your soulmate. But at the same time, the person that you're with wants to go through the same process. So if you were to use synchronicity and both begin to spiritually expressive, that could come. But right now, there's no soulmate in your future because you haven't empowered yourself to finish this new armor phase. You're about to shed your armor and go through a phase where you're making brand new spiritual armor, and you must be fully expressive inside it, or it will limit your psychic talents.
I'm sorry?
Did you hear anything that I said?
You just kind of broke up right there.
All right, what you're going to need to be doing is expressing yourself to understand that you need to be on the path of healing, the path on the healer. You need to be acting. You do not want these negative spiritual contracts to interact. You're at this stage, you have to understand soulmates come together to have a psychic offspring. And you're not in the healing phase that you've created your new proper armor. So there is no soulmate in your life right now until you become the healer and you become to understand the type of armor you're creating in this next life phase.
So you're saying I have to heal myself first before I have that type of relationship with a soulmate or a twin flame?
A soulmate is a person you have a psychic offspring with, and you're not in the proper energy stage to have a psychic offspring. So the answer is no. It's the definition that you have to begin to understand of what soul family and soulmate is. The person you're with is soul family. That means you have the opportunity to become soulmates if you're both in a healed state.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because like I also had like an incident that happened like in 1992 where I kind of freaked out. Do you have any kind of pick on that was? In 92, I kind of like freaked out, and I don't really quite know what happened. I ended up going to rehab, but I don't know if it was drug related or not. Can you see what actually happened at that instant?
When you got out of rehab, what's the first memory you can remember right now, the day you got out?
Just going to junior college, I guess, and starting
the day
to play baseball.
The day you actually left the rehab clinic, what did you do? What's the first thing you did when you walked out the door?
I can't even remember.
Try. I need to tune in on that energies because there's redacted information there. This is, again, classic of negative spiritual contracts that have been using and abusing you with fine print to keep you in situations where you wouldn't grow. And this is redacted on you. Like there's a thick layer of black information, and as I'm tuning into it, it's because you were having a revelation from a past life experience, and a number of your contracts that network over each other blocked out you from having a past life memory, a past life re-experience. And if it had aligned to your astrological events, then you would have had a great awakening.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too, because I don't think it was drug induced. I think it was kind of like an opening that I kind of freaked out upon, and I put it away, didn't know what it was, and I just figured it was like drug induced. I guess leaving there, I felt relieved, and that I was going to help people, and that I would never, touch drinking or drugs again. Yeah, I guess just relief.
But you went back to it.
I did go back to it, yeah.
Well, why did you go back to it? Is there any hindsight that tells you?
No, I guess just hanging around people and just partying and, And I just kind of got, more and more into it.
So what turned you on in 2000, this year 2000 to be paying attention to the different OPP? What changed your life? What brought you into the truth movement?
I guess I just wanted to, cleanse myself again. And I've been just on the past couple of years on a spiritual growth, learning about, meditation, like I never meditated before. And I've been meditating more and more and just getting more spiritually awakened and learning everything how everyone's attacking you from every angle. So I'm trying to get free from that however possible. And then I came across OPPT, and then they've been talking about this movement and how they're going to have an abundance package. And then it's going to move into, the UFO sightings and landings and just the ascension process. So everything is just,
you got drawn up into 2012. Everyone did. That's what 2012 was about, was to occupy you so you wouldn't be going into yourself. But there are many positive sources out there that allowed you to go in yourself. Finding the OPP opened you up to regular meditation, just like you just said. So many of these organizations have a very positive effect on the waking up process. And here you're at going through the next phase. You survived 2012. Now it's a new spiritual armor that you're creating so that the rest of 2013 is not going to be as harsh as 2012 was. You're literally creating spiritual armor the next 45 days.
Okay.
That makes you immune to the psychic attacks of others.
Yeah, because I can't even talk to my family about it because I'm the youngest of 5 children from a strict Catholic family in the Midwest, and they don't believe anything I'm saying about anything, and they believe in 9/11.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them, honestly. Don't tell them. Don't share anything with them. You need to be around like-minded people.
I've gotten to that point, I can't.
Then no longer invest in them and understand that that's another example of a spiritual contract that doesn't allow you to be in full contact with your soul family. They're asleep. You can't blame them for being asleep. But at the same time, you don't have to receive their energy that's negative contracts. This is where you can use an external system of prayers that says, I love you, family, but I cannot be bombarded by this fine print and this contract anymore. I'm now eliminating all fine print contract that has to do with the truth movement. And therefore that energy will not come to you anymore. You'll have to do it individual for each person, and you'll have to do it out loud quite a few times. And understand the more you do it during the next 45 years, you will re-armor yourself against that energies. And if you word it so it's karmically proper, that no energies are exchanged other than the elimination of the contract, you will find yourself tremendously empowered. Because it still allows for the energy of love to go through, but not the emotional attachment of the matrix programming that's part of the contract. The matrix program is the habitat and the habit of people putting you down when you talk about it because their belief system is different than yours. This is a free planet, and for you to reclaim your free will starts with you identifying how these intricate family contracts create conversation that's ultimately negative.
This trickster spirit that you said, is there any way to get rid of this? Is that through the colon cleanses and all that as well?
That's going to be you armoring yourself to it because the trickster spirit's going to lead you back into the party scene. That's its purpose.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely out of the party scene.
Well, it doesn't mean that 6 months from now or 3 months from now or 9 months from now, somebody's going to come by and offer, make a really good offer, and you may just be in that low energy state and say yes. And know that trickster spirit is literally creating that synchronicity and that doorway for which you to project energy into a lower vibrational habit pattern. It's going to use synchronicity against you.
Okay,
and you be aware of it, and when it comes, you go, aha, I see you. No, thank you. And then you eliminate your contract with that trickster from ever returning.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. I know you got a lot of calls there.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot.